In HealthWorks this morning, we've showed you the disturbing video this morning, and I'm sure you've all been a little grossed out about it. It's a very serious problem, though. It's all part of a game called Neknominate, and it's an internet drinking game that's becoming very popular, actually around the world. You nominate someone on social media to do some sort of drinking stunt. Then they have to do it, or they'll be ridiculed via social media. So far, 5 young men have died from this. Here's a look at one of the games.
Thanks for the nomination, Rob. I nominate Corey Holman and Chris Smith. Thanks for the nomination.
Joining us this morning to talk about Neknominate is Monica Guidry from UT Health, Fred Goodall, who's a dad and blogger with mochadad.com, and Dana Steele, a mom and creator of YourDailySuccessTip.com. Good morning to you and all of you. I'm glad you're here to talk about this morning because we always try to stay on top of these trends and warn parents. We think this is fairly new because the word's just getting out about it. Monica, let's start with you and talk about how dangerous this is. Obviously, in the particular one that we just saw, you've got all sorts of issues because certainly the disturbance of germs that are in that toilet that he's drinking up. But many other things of drinking too much as well.
Many other things, and I think that's one of the biggest concerns that we have, is that you don't know how much you're actually drinking, and you also don't know how you're influencing other people. But the reason that people die is because their tolerance level is so low, and alcohol is a poison, and drinking that much is very dangerous.
And when you get in a situation like this, they don't want to be ridiculed. So what do? They do whatever they're told to do. And they're not thinking about how they're feeling at the time, are they? They just feel that peer pressure to do it.
Well, you also have to remember if they had anything to drink before, it really inhibits their ability for their functioning, executive functioning. It increases their ability to kind of not control their impulses. So you take that in addition to the drinking, this way, it becomes very, very dangerous.
Dana and Fred, we want to talk about that conversation with parents. And Dana, I know that you and I have talked about the fact that you say it is so important to sit down at meals, talk to your kids.
Talk to them all the time, and don't say, you can't wait until they're 18 to say, you shouldn't drink, that's bad. It should be an ongoing conversation. We're constantly talking to our kids. It's so important to do something as simple as either sit down for breakfast together or sit down for dinner together, at least one meal a day, where you talk about things in the news. You talk about this story, for example, when I was asked by Fox to come up here this morning, I asked my 18-year-old, who's pretty up on things, and he said, this must be fairly new, but how stupid. But we've given him, teenagers are going to make stupid decisions. That's just the definition of a teenager. But as long as you talk to your kids and let them know about these dangers, you're at least building some sort of information base within them that maybe they'll think.
Fred, what do you think makes a difference of parents, and what do you say to help protect them from things like this?
Well, I teach a class on social media for parents so they know what their teenagers are doing. And every time I have a class, parents tell me they're so overwhelmed, they throw their hands up, they just hope for the best because they don't know what to do. I always tell them, start with talking to your teenagers. That's where everything begins. You'll never stay on top of all the things that are going on in social media, but you can stay on top of what's going on in your child's life. And also get involved with their friends, talk to their friends, go to their schools, ask them questions, volunteer at their schools, so you can see that interaction going on, see how they're interacting with their friends, see what their friends are doing. And it's very important to be very involved in all aspects of their lives.
Simple things to do that could actually end up saving their lives. Thank you all for coming in to talk about it. Appreciate your time, and we do hope that parents will now have that conversation. Yes.